Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 13th episode. I can't believe it's been 13 episodes of the Community Showcase right here on the Edge of Tech. Thanks so much for being here. I know, like every time, we have a great group of people already talking, and they've been here early, so I kind of tried to jump in when I could. We have people from all over the world watching right now. Chris, how are you? Let's see. What else do we got out there? I got to say hi quick to Casey. Casey, how you doing, man? Thanks for watching the show. I hope you like it tonight, and tell your mom hi for me, and tell her I need some more filament soon. Anyways, so I just wanted to jump right in. I'm going to get rolling. We have a great group of guests tonight. Last week we did the kind of the Earth recap with Pooch from Repcord, which was a lot of fun. Ironically, in the stream tonight, two more people out of Earth and one out of his cubicle. So we'll bring those guys in a little bit. But thank you so much to TH3D for helping sponsor the channel and the show here with giveaways and products. Coex 3D for the filament you give away, for the discounts you give us. Thank you so much for that. RPM Designs, Robbie Mack, you are the master. Thank you for the logos for my channel, for this show and everything else. I really appreciate it. You're awesome, man. I think we need to bring in our guest host today. It's actually hosts with a bunch of S's at the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together right there for Glenn and Xander. Fun King 3D's in the house. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing well. We're doing well and excited to be here.
Well, last time I saw you, I think we were at Earth, and I believe I was standing behind you making fun of you, and Xander was there laughing. I'm pretty sure because you were talking to the 3D Gloop guys, and I was like standing there like waiting to talk to you. You know, it was pretty funny.
That doesn't surprise me. I noticed it says that it's up in the corner. It says live. Are we live on the internet? I've never been on the internet before.
I don't know what the internet is.
Yeah, the Andrews from Gloop, the Andrews, and now they have a Zach as well. But really good guys. I really like those two guys. So yeah. Well, I like Zach too, but you know, the Andrews are awesome.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So I got to go back a couple comments real quick before we get further. There was one in here I really had to show you. Let's see. There we go. 3D Jimmy hit it on the head. Yes, we let anybody in here. So if you want to come on next week's show, just email me, jim@theedgeoftech.com.
They don't just let anybody. I got paid for this. This is oh no.
Paid promotion.
I was supposed to have sugar-free M&Ms in the green room, but
the Skittles are there. I think. Did you see them?
let me tell you what, that line is going to become one of my favorite lines ever, that we only have the best second-hand dumpster food.
You like that? So we were emailing back and forth this week, or might have been this weekend. This weekend went by so fast. I had two weddings and a photo booth, like Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I had a photo booth for my niece. We do her birthday party, and it's a Halloween-themed birthday party. And so we brought the photo booth, and everyone dresses up. All the kids come, and it's a lot of fun. And so we were emailing back and forth. Glenn and I were, and he's like, "I need some sugar-free M&Ms in the green room." And I shot that line back. We only have the best. What was it? Secondhand dumpster.
You said I'll make sure I have the double sugar Skittles in the green room for you.
I think there's extra sugar, but whatever.
We'll only have the best secondhand dumpster food, which makes me wonder now, secondhand dumpster food, is that food that was in the dumpster and then taken out and then handed yet to another person?
I think so.
Or, I mean, is it just the fact that it was in a dumpster that made it secondhand? I'm not really sure how far down the chain this food is.
Well, I think it was taken out. Someone was like, nope, and then handed it to you. You know, that's what happened. It's totally secondhand. Well, and in case you didn't notice, I wanted to make you guys feel at home. I got my Chris Riley shirt on. Huh?
Right. Well, and you have the Chris Riley hair. So,
I should have put it back, but
now you just have to say things that are so high tech it's even over my head, and then I'll I'll definitely feel like I'm with Chris Riley.
Oh boy, oh boy.
There, I have to say, and it's going to sound a little bit like bragging, but I'm very smart. But there are things that Chris says that make me realize what it is when I talk tech to my wife. Like, I now understand how she feels when he says something and my eyes glaze over, and then it's like, oh, that's what it's like for her all the time.
Right. I'm with you. Chris is he's such a cool dude, and he's so smart. Talking to him in person, it's like, I've only been in this for a year. I have no idea what you're saying. All right. But Mr. Buttram, yes, first-hand dumpster food would be right from the dumpster. So second-hand, that's the best. I even warm it up a little before I hand it off, But so what have you guys been up to since Earth?
Well, let me tell you, and I know a few people have heard me say this already, but Murph this year, the Murph drained me, both mentally, physically, emotionally. I came home, I felt like somebody beat me down and then kicked me home from Indiana.
He wouldn't get out of his room for a good month.
Yeah, I just had to sit in the corner rocking back and forth. I don't know what it was about Murph that because I was so excited to show off the FK1 and I got to just keep telling my story. It was wonderful. But when I got home, I was just so beat.
Right.
So I was a little bit intimidated going into Earth this year, thinking that it just wasn't going to come back. I came home from Earth completely rejuvenated. I didn't print probably 6 things between Murph and Earth, and that's not an exaggeration. I mean, that was it. That's how beat down I was. And all right, no, this counts as one thing. He's counting all the little dots that I printed for in the bench, but it was just like it had killed me. Well, Earth, it brought it all back. It rejuvenated me. It lit a fire under Xander's butt.
It hurts.
Which is what brought back Xander's Thing Thursdays on Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. So after almost a year off, is it about a year?
Yeah, I'd say.
I tried everything to get him to go back to doing Xander's Thing Thursdays. It didn't happen.
Because you smell.
When I took him to Earth and nobody recognized who he was, realized he lost his celebrity status, and so he decided that he wanted to get back involved, and he's like a whole new kid too. So we've been printing more, and the FK1 is back being worked on. Actually, I'm just kind of band-aiding it back together right now.
I don't think it's necessarily being worked on. It's just switching back from workbench
I'm
to
just kind of
actual printer.
Putting it back the way that it was. Yeah, because we have Orlando Maker Fair in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from 2 days ago. So less than 2 weeks.
Well, and someone asked why Murph, took it out of you, and I'm not going to answer for you guys, but I know Murph, it was my first Murph when I was there, and I was there the whole weekend, and I filmed as much as I could. But for me, I kind of I don't know if it took it out of me. I was super stoked when I left because I met so many people I never met before because it was my first time. But I was emotionally and physically exhausted.
Well, always.
And
always you're exhausted. Yeah.
It was like tight quarters. It was packed full of the gills of people. And but by the end of it, it was so awesome. I was on such a high because I was there. But when I got home, we drove. So by the time I got home, I was like, all right, I'm done.
Well, and I think that was part of it for us too. Is it's a 2-day journey for us to get there. We had to drive slower because of pulling the trailer. It was killing our fuel mileage. And then just the amount of stuff that I had to bring. That thing is monstrous. If you've never got to see it in person, when you finally do, it's going to blow your mind how ridiculously large that printer is.
We need a smaller one. I'm sorry, but we need a smaller printer.
Yeah, because when I was drawing, when I was designing it and stuff, it was all fine. When I finally bolted the frame together, like all of a sudden I went, why am I doing this? This is so ridiculous.
Nice.
But it was that, and then absolutely nothing against John and Sonny who put Murph on, because to take on an event like that is a huge amount of work. But there was a little bit of turmoil in the beginning in getting set up, and people were mad, and people were getting kicked out of their table because we were in there sooner than we were supposed to, but there's no communication. So that part of it kind of really knocked me down a little bit too. Yeah. Was there felt like there was a little bit of a lack of organization, which I don't know, it kind of put me into a mood through the weekend. And then I never left my table. Like, I very little got to see the show. Yeah. Because I mean, I had somebody in which again, I'm not complaining. That's what I went there for. But being at Earth, where I got to walk away from the booth pretty much anytime I wanted to, was a huge difference. You know, I got to go see what other people brought. I got to go spend time talking to the people that were there, because that's really why I go to these events, is for the people. Right. So,
well, and let's see here. I appreciated 3D Jimmy. It was funny. I did a Thomas video that I posted the other day, and 3D Jimmy commented that at the end we elbow bumped. That he probably hasn't washed his elbow yet.
No, I heard that he's getting it plastic coated, not wash the gym off.
So speaking of Earth and Murph, I think we should bring in Mike. Mike, how you doing? Mike is from Never Let the Machines Win, right? How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I wore my shirt yesterday or last week. I should have wore it tonight. I didn't even think about it.
I wore mine. I got you covered.
So how was Earth for you?
Earth was awesome. Earth was, as Glenn said, less tiring than Murph was. I realize I'm getting a little bit old for those really, really, really late nights and early mornings. So I paced it a bit different at Earth than I did at Murph.
Nice.
But still did all the things I should have. So that was good. I chose to get a table at Earth, and I felt guilty every time I walked away from it because I was the only one there in that booth. So, it was just me. So if I wasn't there, nobody could ask anything. But I got to talk to a lot of really cool people, just, literally people off the street. Like Glenn says, it's the people that make those shows.
Well, and coming from me, that's huge, because I am uncontrollably introverted, and for me to be able, like, not this year, not 2019 Murph, but 2018 Murph was our first Murph that we went to. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
We've only been to two.
And you hid in the corner.
Well, it was hard for me to get out of the car and walk in there. And that was on Friday night, when it was only the people who were setting up. Like, it took a lot to fight the anxiety to go in there. And yet now I look forward to walking in that building and screaming at the top of my lungs, it's on now. The Fun King's here.
That's the stuff I have to deal with at home.
You're a tough kid.
Speaking of that, I heard you guys were a little late. Are you feeling okay after that trip down the stairs?
That's actually there's going to be something coming up out of that. You guys,
that would be funny. Nice. So before the stream, we were talking, and there goes my pen. Before the stream, we were talking, and you made a comment about Mike's microphone. Mike, what do you got on the table ahead in front of you?
Nothing really planned. It's mostly just stuff that was sitting here. I realized that Halloween is only a couple of days away, and I better get my act together and print a couple of new things. So I printed these because they seemed easy, and they printed quick today. Man, they got a stringing problem. This is Filamentum. Here's my commercial. You want the infomercial?
Well, that's what
Filamentum.
What you're laughing in front of you is a ShamWow and a slap chop. But
yeah, I know. I don't have any of those. We can get them up here, but I don't have them. And the only reason I did these is because they're easy to throw a tea light candle in them, and they work.
Nice.
And this other thing in front of me, for well over a year, I've been trying to find a 3D scanner that will scan small objects of this kind of size range.
Nice.
decently. I don't expect it to be 100%. I just want it close so I can pull it into ZBrush and clean it up. Got to do something for a friend, and I've been putting it off for a long time, and I got to get it done. So I ran into this, and I don't even know where it was on the internet 3-4 weeks ago. And I think it was just before, or maybe around that time anyway. And it's not ready. It's not done. The software certainly isn't. It doesn't export STLs yet. It exports a point cloud. So you all know how much fun that is. But it's the hardware works really good. Their software needs some work, but hopefully it'll pull together. But that's my newest little pain in the nightmare.
What's it do? Does it spin or anything? Or
yeah, it just does the spin thing. I can't run the software doing this. It'll crunch everything right down. It's kind of intense on the hardware. But yeah, it just spins. It's got the little red line on it, laser, and reads it in. It's got it's a custom board they've built by the looks of it. And hold on.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Sorry, not doing a good infomercial. Yeah, there's a looks like almost like a Pi Cam here or some cousin thereof, and then the lasers on the side here, and it's got a bright white LED somewhere in there as well.
I noticed that you also have the fine-tune adjustment tool there next to it.
Yeah, well, that's because I was my weekend project was to can you guys see it? Yeah, to hang up one of the rep boxes with a rep chopper on top that you can't see.
There's my brother.
It's up there. It's up there. Got to get my pooch points in, and I put up a piece of IKEA pegboard, whatever they call it. Can't remember what it's called. Skanky or something like that. And this was for pounding the wall plugs in. So
Skanky pegboard.
it is. It's Skakis or something like that. I don't know. Somebody will look it up. Somebody will correct me in the chat, I'm sure.
Oh,
but this is the light duty persuader. So
the light duty persuader.
I can't do much damage with it. It's not like a real hammer, so which I can put holes in walls easily.
I gotta say, Josh Alien 3D's in the house. He did not get arrested while he was running around Washington in his alien suit, so that's good.
Which is surprising. Of course, it's kind of a weird town anyway. He probably wasn't the only one.
Now, I would pay to see a Storm Area 51 video with him running. So.
But
and the sniper shooting the alien in the head. Josh is like, save me!
He has to be Naruto running though. It won't do anything if it's not Naruto, or however you say it. It's where you run like this. Like
I don't know what they called that when they were
Naruto or something.
Naruto running. Wow.
Standard.
My favorite 3D printing channel is Sandra and the other guy.
Love it. Well, let's see what time we got. Hey,
I'll
tell you what I'll do real quick. I'm going to bring in our other guests for a few minutes, and then I want to give us plenty of time for all of us to talk. So, Mike, I'll be right back with you, and I think it's officially time to acknowledge Mr. Jake from State Farm in person.
Acknowledge me, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Matt. Jake from State Farm, as everyone else knows him in the chats. How you doing, Matt?
Awesome. Thank you for having me on. As you can see, I'm not Jake from State Farm. My name is Matt. I'm not wearing khakis. No, so
you're gone.
But he is hideous. I am hideous.
Some of you may have seen me on some other streams, on Mr. Buckstream's stream, on Tom 3D Printing Llama stream. I did have a beard, so I am feeling pretty vulnerable right now. It just came off a couple days ago. So this is me in the flesh.
I love it. Well, and it's funny because a lot of people I'm trying to remember what stream we were on, but someone thought we were mad at each other because I was like, acknowledge me, because you always say acknowledge me, and then whoever stream we were on was like, I don't know why you're mad at each other. I was like, at all.
I'm just a wise ass, and I appreciate you guys for putting up with me. I know I make some sarcastic comments in the chat, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
We learned long ago that live streams are never about what you're doing. it's about the community.
Oh, absolutely.
And the people who do their live streams and don't interact with the community, or at the point that you hit a level where you're too big to be able to interact with the community because it just screams by, it loses something. It really loses it. So it's all those guys, and I always say over here because that's where my chat is, but it's always the people in chat that make it worth doing it. I mean,
yeah, the community is great, and that's one of the reasons why I stuck with this hobby, which is a fairly new hobby. I've only been doing it about a year and a half maybe, but yeah, interacting online, like you said, being they're not antisocial, but having a little anxiety, being online with all these great people helped with that a lot. And when you meet them in person, it's just like it's a great experience. So the community is really what brings it together. I have a car hobby too. I'm a big car nut. I run a car club out here. I actually have a 71 240Z, a Datsun. And it's the same thing. You meet these people online. You don't know who they are. You talk. You get to know each other. You meet them in person, and it's like you've been friends forever.
Yeah, and they're completely different than what you picture in your mind.
Yeah, always.
That's right.
I mean, like there will be people in the chat, and you'll be like, "Oh, that guy is so awesome," and you'll talk to him for a while, and then they'll show up in an event, and you'll be like, "There's some homeless guy following me around."
I thought we were telling that story. How do you think I know about the secondhand dumpster food? Matter of fact, if the homeowners come home here, I'm in trouble.
I'm just borrowing the place.
I love it.
No car.
That's so funny. There we go. Hi. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Oh,
all right, now he's locked in. Now he won't go anywhere. Well, fun in the country basements have now become big enough, and it's really because of Chris Riley. I mean, Walter and I both know that we have no talent, that it's all because of Chris. We're totally riding his coattails. But, we've hit a point now where there's so many people in the chat before we even start the stream that we can no longer run down that list and say hi to everybody. Because either you end up saying hi to the same person more than once, and they're like, "Oh, you already said hi to me," which is usually Matt, or or you miss somebody that you feel bad, and we don't ever want to make anybody feel bad, so now we just skip everybody.
Equal opportunity offender.
That's right. That's right.
That's why, same thing. That's why I say hi to everybody when I come in. When you come in and there's already 20 people or 30 people or whatever is sitting here chatting already, it's like, okay. But I kind of like to just jump right into it myself. That way I don't sit here and talk all day because people know I would. From Murph, that I was like, we were doing you'll see it tomorrow morning. It's actually going to post. I did an interview at Earth with Walter, Glenn, and Chris. So we had all three of the country basement. And while we started, as soon as we started, they started overhead calling off gifts, like raffle numbers. And it took like 15 minutes.
It was every time we spoke, though. Like, you'd ask a question, there was nothing. You'd ask a question, and it was like, well, and the next winner, and we're like,
and I had a brand new microphone, which is even more funny. I used it one other time, and when I got to Earth, I realized it was not working like it should. So it was, long story short, it wasn't working like it should. I'm just going to leave it there. So when you watch tomorrow, just listen at Walter's audio. It's be like he never left his house.
But is his picture grainy? Otherwise, people aren't going to recognize it.
I should have blurred him out. What was I thinking?
So it didn't work out. I was trying a couple of different things, but I had told Chris that I had an idea, and if it worked out, it was going to be just epic. I was going to make a frame for Walter to hold with hardware cloth, like wide metal mesh in it, and I was trying to use like wax paper and sanded plexiglass to make different shades of pixelation so that when people would come into the booth, he could hold it up so everybody would recognize him. But it just didn't work out.
This is Walter in 240p. This is Walter in 360p.
That's
well,
hilarious.
he lives so far into the woods that like cable internet doesn't come to him. And for him to get it, he's going to have to like chunk down like 15 grand. So it's going to be a while before we ever see Walter clear. I mean, it's much better now with the new computer, but
Well, just look for tomorrow's video, and you may see singing and dancing. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it'll be funny. But what are you working on, Matt? Anything special?
On the printer right now, I have the base for Wexter's Pumpkin Queen, which is supposed to be an MMU print, his MMU version. I like to challenge myself and do things a little differently, so I do not have an MMU2. This is the only printer I own, actually, at the moment. So I'm printing out all the parts separately. Got all the vines here, all the pumpkins that go along with it, the head, and putting it together manually, which is kind of fun to figure out with these multi-material models.
Right.
Because if they're designed well, you can just like snap these pieces together, and it's really cool. So it's going to take some tweaking because the vines actually wrap around the body. So I'll have to maybe take a heat gun to it or cut them, cut these in half and maybe wrap them around. But yeah, that should be fun. And working on some masks for Halloween. I got the this is the Sons of the Harpy from Game of Thrones mask. So
Nice.
finished just in maybe a gold wash. And what else do I got going on? Broke out this old mask. I'll probably wear one day for Halloween. The Lord of Bones skull mask. So, I don't know if I look better with this or my real face. Maybe I should just leave this on for the rest of the show. But
That's awesome. What did you print it on?
What's that?
What did you print the masks on?
They're on this Ender 3. Everything I've printed is always on this Ender 3, which is not really an Ender 3 anymore. This was one piece. This actually does fit on the bed because there's no back to it.
wow, that's impressive.
And the Sons of Harpy mask, that's actually multi-part. So that's pieced together, sanded, filled, and painted a little bit. So yeah, this Ender 3 has gone through a lot. Like I said, no longer an Ender 3. It's running a Bondtech E3D V6, all upgraded electronics, Nemo power supplies, moon stepper motors, gates, belts, TH3Ds, Easy Mat, BuildTech flex plate, SKR board with 2208s, and it's a beast, man. Right now, it's pushing through this high temp PETG from CDX Tech at 270 degrees. So
Wow,
it's
that's hot.
pretty awesome.
ETG.
Yeah, it's they have this special line. So CDX Tech, I know you're a sponsor of Coex, but CDX Tech makes really great industrial filaments, and this is part of their low gloss line. It's I actually have an orange that Mike may like. It is called Pretty Ridiculous Ultra Super Awesome Orange, and it really is super awesome. But yeah, it's high temp stuff. 270 is actually the minimum temp. So I think it's 265 to 280 for this stuff. But they have their standard lines and their cheaper lines. But this is more industrial grade. So that's
Nice.
probably
I thought
Kinda like-
260 was hot, which is what I run the IC3D filament at. And I thought that was hot, but
yeah. This is hot, but it goes down like it's absolute butter. Like when you say butter, like it really is butter.
That's why that's why I really like the coax filament. That stuff goes down like butter. I do test other filaments. I'm actually testing some currently. Currently, I need to heat one of the printers, the Ender 5s, back up because I also use the Easy Mats from TH3D, and sometimes you need a jackhammer to get stuff off of them. This is that case. Yeah, I put a flex plate under it. The problem is I'm printing Coex's brand new TPU, and when you flex it just flexes it. I'll get it back up and I'll get it off that way. But that stuff is awesome. I know they're releasing it soon, and I had a test roll. I have a bunch of stuff I need to put on social media, and I might do a quick video, but it prints. I've never printed with any flexibles before I played with this. This is a 60D shore hardness, and it's pretty fun to play with when you're done. I did a vase, and I can just be like, you know.
Yeah, I've not printed the TPU yet. That's my next adventure.
yeah, I actually haven't either.
I stand corrected. It's a TPE, so it's not a TPU. It's a TPE. But yeah, it's over there on an Ender 5. But I would bring the whole. I should bring the whole surface over because I can't get it off there right now. But it's going good, Jerry. Jerry just asked about my garage. It's going along good. I got doors for the enclosure done, and now that wedding season is just about over, all my weekends have been just crushed, mostly. And I have one more wedding this year, but I have stuff until like the middle of November. All my weekends are booked, but I'm almost there where I can just focus on that, which is going to be great. But I think let's bring Mike back in. There he is. How you doing, Mike?
You must have worked in a restaurant because every time you bring me back in, I'm doing something else. You're really good at that.
I can fix that. All right, Mike. 5, 4, 3. No, just playing. But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait.
That didn't happen.
So I have 2 Ender 3s. I absolutely love my Ender 3s. I have a couple Ender 5s that I think are becoming my favorite printers actually over the Ender 3. But I think Mr. Buttram said #not an Ender.
Yeah. What you got there is some Ender 3 aluminum, and otherwise, yeah. No, I owned an Ender 3 for about a week and a half, and then we gave it away at Earth.
It really is a great printer, though. I mean, all these upgrades, they mean nothing. Like, you can get the same print quality. In fact, most of these other models I have up here are as good, if not better, print quality than what's pumping out now. It just comes down to any machine with a rigid frame, squared, level. I have this actually reinforced with quarter brackets all over the place, but you get the basics down. You can pump out quality models off any machine.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I originally bought my Prusa, but then I ordered my ANET A8. And when the Prusa finally got here, the prints coming out of it weren't as good as what I was getting out of an A8. And I was really disappointed, like to the point where I was going to send it back. But then it kind of dawned on me that I just spent, 2 months tweaking the prints on the A8. So,
yeah.
But no.
Yeah, the upgrades I do for a hobby more than anything.
What's that?
The upgrades I do for a hobby more than anything because I just like to tinker.
Oh yeah, well that was a couple months into it. My wife's like, "Well, do these things make anything other than parts for themselves?"
Right. So I know, Matt, you weren't at Earth, were you?
No, I was supposed to go, but I had a wedding come up, so I missed it. I'm gonna try to get to Murph.
I was going to say, I don't think I officially met you in person, but I know like Glenn and Xander and Mike were, and I know someone just asked thoughts on the Prusa Mini. I want to start this one. My initial thought was an Ender 2 that Prusa put his name on and made a little bit different. But I went over there and checked it out, and what did I do? Are you laughing at me?
No, it's because I spent, like, when they first announced it, I spent like the first day and a half walking around going, "Oh, the new Prusa Tronxy X1." And I thought for sure it was going to get around to Joseph, and maybe it did, and now he'll never see me again. But
maybe.
It's definitely a little better build quality than the X1. But
yeah, from the videos I've seen, like you said, build quality seems there, price is there.
Price is a little for me. It's a little rough.
Yeah, I'd buy one. I mean, as far as a business standpoint, I think that was the right decision for them to go to make a computer to get into the hands of the masses. But
sure,
once the printer does get to the masses, how is their support staff going to be able to keep up? Because that everybody's going to want to own one of these because they can afford them now.
Well, I'll tell you the quality. I did when I interviewed Joe, a 3D Maker noob. We did it in the Prusa booth, and Joseph Prusa was standing there behind or next to Cody, who was filming for me. Like, he had a slinky and he's like just trying to get our attention. It was hilarious. But I got to tell you what, the print quality that I saw coming off that little thing was awesome. And what he said is that almost everything they make for their printers could be printed on it. So, I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. What were your thoughts, Mike?
I totally missed the announcement on Saturday. Like, later on in the day, I thought, "Oh, I wonder what he announced." And I asked somebody, and they said it was a smaller one. I was like, "Really?" My first thought was like, "Really, a smaller one?" I was hearing bigger, but
when everybody's been begging for bigger,
it
goes with the smaller.
Yeah.
But there's
And then I looked at it, and in the 8-hour drive home, I thought about it more, and I ordered mine Tuesday morning, and I figure I'll get mine about March or April, the way it's going, because they obviously had a ton of orders.
Yeah, the only thing that I think that they could have done, should have done, whatever. Like, I mean, they went to some really high end features, the touch screen, that kind of stuff. I think they could have clipped a little bit more out of it to make it even a little bit more price friendly.
Right. Well, and not only that, but what people don't realize is some of those features are actually options you got to add on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you go to their website,
Yes.
there was add-ons, and they didn't come with all that.
So it's $349 without all of that. Oh yeah.
All
Well,
you add is the
It has some of it, but it doesn't have what was it? The filament run out. I don't think it had. I can't remember. There was a couple things you had to add on if you wanted it all. But I had one in my cart just messing around, and it was almost $500 shipped.
Wow. Yeah, you might as well buy an MK3.
But I full disclosure, that was with like two rolls of Prusa cement too. But still, yeah.
I've never ever needed a run out sensor. In fact, I have the one disabled on the Prusa, and the CR10S is the only other one that I have with one on there. Like I've never run into a situation where I couldn't watch my filament enough to know that I was going to be okay. It's $424 US for textured PEI and a run out sensor.
that was it.
And then if you wanted both the bed build surfaces, I think it was a little more. I can't remember, but.
But is that the price now? Like, wasn't it discounted a bit at Earth?
I don't think
not. I
I
can't
don't
remember.
think so.
Got a feeling mine was like
$349.
$399, but with everything, because I said, yeah, throw in the sensor, I can always disable it.
Now, is it
I think it was the new
$349?
price.
Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, for goodness sake, mate. Is it $349 for the built, or is it $349 for the kit?
I don't think
There is no
they're
kit.
built.
It's 3 pieces, just like how those newer Chinese coming in. So that's a little disappointing, because that's, I think, how you learn the most about these printers, is actually building them yourself.
Yeah,
That's not the market for this, though.
Yeah, when radio control cars went to that, where they always came pre-built, that really disappointed me, because half of the fun in buying a new RC car was getting to put that thing together.
I remember that. I had a RC10 T2 or something when it came out. I saved my money, and I was like 14 or something, and I was like, yes. And then I got this box full of parts. I'm like, but it was really cool to build,
Yep. It's part of being a maker.
Let's see. There we go. Mr. Buttram says $349, no shipping, no taxes, no textured PEI, no run out sensor.
Well, other than the textured PEI, I could live with everything else. I don't want to pay.
Yeah, you don't need to run out sensor on something that small.
Yeah. But
unless you're just printing like small pieces of filament, like running out the end of rolls. But I mean, I don't even have a run out sensor on the FK1. I just feed pound rolls into that thing.
I'm waiting for Mike to say, but wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
I just checked $399 all in. So
$399, nice.
yeah.
So I must have added a couple rolls of filament and the both build surfaces. I know I did that.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, let me
Just in case any of the viewers have never seen the FK1, and it's clean now. I got all the junk off the bed, and that is a full-scale Benchy sitting in the middle of that, by the way.
I touched it. Even though it said not to.
Well, that's because people kept coming up and putting their hand on the bed. They would come up and they would stick their hand down. They go, "Is it heated?" I'm like, "Yeah, very much so."
nice. So do you guys have any projects coming up? Matt, we'll start with you. Anything coming up that you want to do?
No, I want to get another printer. I want to build another printer. That's coming up soon, hopefully. As far as printing projects, once Halloween's over, go back to the printing knickknacks. Cars away for the winter. So that's actually how I got into printing. Was printing. I wanted to get one to start printing some parts for restoration, plastic restoration parts for my car. So that's away for the winter. Nothing to do on that. Just knickknacks, plastic crap.
Nice. Everyone in the chat is giving Glenn such a hard time right now. They said they don't need a filament runout sensor. It never runs. And then, who was it? Kit said, "I never seen you print anything bigger than that Benchy."
Well, I've printed this Benchy. I printed this Benchy that is signed by Daniel Norre.
Nice.
Yes. And if I can find it, I have boxes and boxes and boxes of printed junk just sitting around. I don't know. I printed a Makey robot that's about yay big. So, I mean, it's done a couple of big things. The reason, like, the super goal is to print a max size Benchy on it. But the I can only go to like 998%. So when I go to swap that over to 4Z motors, I'm going to actually swap out the extrusion too, so that I can get a 1,000% Benchy out of it. So I'm going to make it just a little tall. I'll take it to like 500 millimeters tall instead of 475, and then I'll be able to get a 1,000% Benchy out of it. So, and for you guys that haven't seen, if you print the Chris Riley head that's on Thingiverse, it makes really great smoke for your Benchy.
Why is that on Thingiverse?
Thanks.
That's awesome.
It's really kind of creepy too. But
who wakes up in the morning and like, I'm gonna model Chris Riley's head?
It was either Tom Lama or Robbie Mack that did it.
Of course.
Phenomenal.
I'm fairly sure it was one of those two.
Phenomenal. Hey, real quick, Matt. Someone's asking why you have your wires on the front of your extrusion on your Ender 3. Is there any reason, or you just did that because you wanted to?
No, there is a functional reason. This is Greg 3D's Bondtech mount for the Ender 3, slightly modified with the Bondtech and a pancake stepper miller from LDO in the back. So being that this starts to come up at a pretty high level, if I bent these around and carried around the back of the frame, I'd actually lose some Z height.
Gotcha.
So 2 or 3 centimeters. I'm actually already losing a little Z height with these brackets. But that's okay. It's just, it's just a little bit. But my control box, which is actually just sitting on the ground here right now on the table, is going to be relocated on the back here, which actually Elite Machine Works, who's at Earth, such a nice guy. He's the one that built that tank of a printer, totally overkill, but totally awesome. I sent him an email because I like his control boxes. I'm like, hey, I know you're releasing a printer soon. Would you mind if you shared, maybe an older version of your control box I can tweak and modify? And he's like, oh, yeah, I got you. I've actually been designing one for an SKR board. He actually went and designed a new one just for more of an Ender 3 setup and sent me the files. Such a cool guy. So I'm actually in the process of modifying that. So it's just better clearance, better routing, nice curve to the wires, not getting pinched or caught underneath an extrusion or something. So comes down the front. This is actually raised up a couple inches, so I have room to sneak the wires underneath if I need to. Cool. So yeah, just my specific setup.
So Mike or Glenn or Xander, did you guys get 3D scanned at Earth?
Yeah.
You bet. Yep.
Yeah, so, but I haven't gotten the files. Have you guys gotten the email from him?
Not yet. He's been buried. I have been emailing it with him because I was going to see if he wanted to come on the show next week. And he's super busy right now. He coaches, I guess, like a kids team as well.
Wow.
But yeah, he's working on it, I think. And then, so I posted the video that I did of that because I shot a video of it happening. Realized my posture was terrible while I was getting scanned because it was filmed, and then I posted the video and my family saw it and they're like, Now it's this big joke that I'm gonna print myself and give it for the white elephant gift this year for our family Christmas. It's like I'm probably gonna do it.
You have to now.
Yeah, I'll be really excited if those files turn out good. And I'm sorry that my wife and Zach weren't there when we did it, because we did it on Sunday towards the end of the day, and my wife was under the weather, and Zach was just completely exhausted, so we left them at the hotel. So they didn't get scanned, but we did. So
Nice.
yeah, it'll be really interesting. It'll be really interesting to see. It's so funny because I walked over and I'm like, wow, so have you ever played with a Raspberry Pi before?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got more network cables coming out of that than I do my whole entire network here in the house.
Yeah, he had over 100 Pis with PiCams on them, 3B pluses and 4s. That was so cool, and he's actually going to take it back and use it for like sports for kids and stuff. They can do a pose or whatever, like a baseball pose or whatever, and then he'll do like a bobblehead or something of them,
Yeah, well, I mean, like you could take a kid, scan him, and then you could print him and put him on the trophy that they get. So like now you're not only getting a trophy, you're getting a trophy of you, not just that generic guy that you're going to break later anyway.
I got to ask David. So David Shore's in the chat. He was at IRF as well. And if you guys haven't seen his stuff, it is phenomenal, printing on fabric. But he's in the chat and he says he's still working on his People of IRF list. So I got to ask David, is that like the people of Walmart? Because I'm not sure I need to be on that list.
Here, I got a piece of David's work right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
David's work.
I don't have
Everybody
mine.
hasn't seen it.
It is so
Mine
cool.
I keep this bag of swag right here by my table so that I always have stuff to reference back to. And when people are like, do you still have my maker coin? Then I dig through there and find it.
Right. Mad Monkey said he's I just got to remember a support-free posture. Jim didn't. I saw. It's probably 100% true because I'm going to need supports under my stomach.
Yeah, I still have my arms down, which I probably should have put them on my hips, or I should have had the guy scan us again and me like choking Xander. Like that would have been a great one.
David says no. Good. Okay, that's good. It's like the people of Earth, and it's all the people that are walking.
Really bad shots of everybody.
Right.
That could be a great website.
That would be funny. Who was it? Chris or Nerys. He posted at the very end, I think Saturday or Sunday, he posted a video where he had a tablet sitting on his booth and you could walk up and hit the button and say hi or whatever you want. He posted all those videos and they were all together. And it was almost towards the end of the day 2, when I found it. And I said hi the first time, and then I was joking around and I said, I should go back here and like jump into the frame. Well, when I moved the tablet, I didn't realize it was recording me say this. So I actually did it, and I came back, and they were laughing, and I was like, oh, it's actually recording. Well, he left it in there. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, and then, we had, we were live streaming the entire event, and Walter had a hot mic on the whole time. So there was a few things that went out over that live stream that probably shouldn't have. Which is why it's on Walter's channel and not on Fun King 3D.
Yeah, John Mack. I met John at IRF. That was awesome. He made the hat. He does the hats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He made some of my hats.
Super
cool.
Nice. Yeah, those are really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, there you go. There's almost the orange there. I should wear this one with
Hey. Good color choice.
We met John Mack at Murph 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have to think about the dates because the first show that we ever went to was New York Maker Faire 17.
17.
And we got to meet a bunch of people there. That was the first time we got to meet Joel. And then it was Murph 18, IRF 18, Murph 19, IRF 19.
Nice.
Orlando Maker Faire.
And Orlando Maker Faire, yeah. And Farts 18.
Farts, yeah.
You got to go to Farts. That's the Florida area rep talking supper. We had
They
it.
serve White Castle.
We had it at the Golden Corral. So you go for the farts and you leave with the poops.
Nice.
Oh man.
So, but yeah, so I, just to kind of throw it out there for anybody that's, if you're within the sound of my voice, you're close enough to go.
Yeah.
Orlando Maker Faire is in 2 weeks, and we're very excited to go. And we will be having a 3D printing people, well, even really just fans of 3D printing. We're going to have a meetup again. We'll probably go back to the same Golden Corral. This time I'll let the manager know ahead of time, though.
Nice. Yeah, let them know we're coming.
Well, I went up and asked her, I said, how big of a mess am I going to cause if I bring like 30 people in here? And she said, let me go see if the room is ready.
That's awesome. So any fun projects coming up, guys?
For us?
Yeah, for anybody.
Almost all of our projects cannot be spoken about because they get filmed for later. But
Right.
we did decide we're going to put a spin on Xander's Thing Thursdays, and that it was actually by recommendation of James from Print and Play, and James is like my brother from another mother. We're absolutely deadly when we're in the same room together.
Yes.
Yes. But we've decided that what we're going to do is he's going to do a small print like he's been doing. But we're also going to do a major project that we'll touch on just once a month. So one Xander's Thing Thursday out of the month will be a major project. And I'm not exactly sure when that's going to start, but
we're going to have to leave it on a cliffhanger.
Each time, leave it on a
Each
cliffhanger.
time.
So can I tell them what the first project's going to be?
Sure.
Okay. So, and I'm going to get the name wrong.
You don't have to say the actual name. I can't pronounce it, but.
Are we talking about the Nerf gun?
No. Oh. No, I was thinking about something else, but
It's
okay.
two.
It's
I guess
Caliburn.
there's another project that I didn't know about, but yeah, Caliburn.
Caliburn.
It's the Caliburn Nerf gun. It's not the FDL until we can get the parts for the FDL. But I don't know if you guys seen that at Earth. It's a spring action, and we bought the spring that does 220 feet per second. And it was a lot of fun to shoot. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna buy this kit and we're gonna put one together.
Nice. How about Mike? Do you have anything fun coming up?
I have a whole list of things to do. Part of the reason I started streaming was that I put it off for 2 years for several reasons. And 2, because I got a lot of stuff that's backed up I got to do. I got a couple of Prusa things I got to put the upgrades on. I've got technically an MMU 1 that's still in the box and will never see the light of day. An MMU 2. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to fix and get going. So that's kind of why I started doing this. And I got to do more of it. I picked up a bottle of that water-based resin to try. So we'll see how that goes. That's on the later this week plan.
I hope that works out. I hope that the principle behind it works and that can happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So, or at least
it arrived the other day, so I'll try it.
We just had that was a big thing on Twitter today.
Yeah.
And I can't
Jordan.
remember. I think it was Jordan.
Mad Monkey, yeah.
Yeah. And then it was if you find Jordan or Mad Monkey on Twitter, look up today's tweet about that, and then look at the following comments that ensued. It's pretty funny. A lot of good serious ones, but some really funny ones.
Yeah. I got the same company, the same brand he's got, and yeah, it doesn't come with a lot of support documentation, that's for sure. Telling you. I mean, part of that's probably because it's new and they don't want to say too much, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll be putting mine in the UV cure just to make sure it's really done before I play with it. That's for sure.
No,
I'm not gonna fall into this. Just let it sit in the air and dry stuff.
Well, you gotta take it out and you give it just a soft bite, like when you check in to see if it's real gold. Give it a little bite to see if it's.
Why does every print have a bite mark in it? I just don't understand.
I do it more like pasta. You throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Then it's done.
Nice.
Well, that's not my chocolate printer.
I should do that.
Yeah, it's I haven't done any SLA yet, but it sounds like from the chats I might soon. But someone said they were I don't know. Well, he said it publicly, so I'll say it. Greg said he was sick of his. And I said, how much? And he said he actually made me an offer, so I might
I'm
actually.
going to counter offer at 210. No.
Oh, yeah, here. Let's.
I have Annette, as they pronounced it, gave me one at Murph, and I brought it home, and it's just sitting over there on the floor. And then a very kind soul named Scott McClellan was nice enough to buy me some resin for it, and it's still sitting over there on the floor. But I'll get to it when the weather's cooler, because I'm going to do it in the garage. I don't want to do it in the house. So
Yeah, I'm hoping to also do mine in the garage. We have little animals that I don't trust that in the house. But yeah, I got some fun stuff coming. Much like you guys, we filmed, so I don't, but I know I have a new printer, should be here tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I haven't decided if I'm going to film like a build video or if I'm going to do it live. That's one thing I'll figure out. Like we talked about last week, I have a rep box, so that one I'm actually going to be filming to put out there for a build video because, as Pooch said, he needs to up his documentation game. So we're going to get that out for the rep box. I don't have one currently, so I haven't even played with the instructions yet. So I heard it's a lot of fun, and I'm super stoked for those side panels. Did you guys see the side panels that I got?
No.
Yeah, your custom panels. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I sent my artwork over, and then I dropped the ball on it, and so I've got mine ordered.
Let's see.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And it's so hard to see, but there's like a whole subtle background.
Oh yeah,
it.
you can see it.
Yeah. They just did a sick job, and I'm super excited to get it going. So that'll probably be one of my next ones. I have and all that fun stuff. Oh, I gotta. Okay, thank you, whoever. Just probably Tyler. Someone was waiting. A comment was waiting for me to allow it, and I didn't get it to in time. But I think. But yeah, I mean, super fun stuff. Like everybody, where I think we have this big list of stuff we want to do, and our time is like this.
Yeah.
But we'll get it. But how about what time we got? 57. Let's start with.
Boy, that hour flew by.
Yeah, that was super fast. Well, like I said on the email, usually we do 12 hours, but for your sake, we'll just.
Yeah, well, at my age, I couldn't handle 12 hours.
I would have to. I'd be like, all right, Mike, you're full screen. I'll be right back.
He does it. He's good. You're good. Hold on. Wait till I'm drinking and typing.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, it's Mike. How about tell everybody where we can find you? All the good stuff. I know all in the description. I believe I have everybody's links, but tell us where we can find you.
If you go on to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, any of those places, and just type in NLTMW for Never Let the Machines Win, it'll find me. There's slight variations in the spelling because somebody else uses that too. Even if they're dormant, we know how that goes. NLTMW.com will get you to all that as well. And that's it. And I stream randomly. I don't have a schedule yet because my life doesn't have one of those.
Well, I found that out today. I tagged you. I think I tagged you like Instagram, but when it published it on Twitter, it was somebody else. So people were correcting me. Like, hey,
you missed the _com on the end of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that guy's Twitter account got blown up today.
That'll teach him.
Maybe he's watching. You never know, or she. Matt, where can we find you besides in the cubicle?
Well, you won't find me doing videos on YouTube, but you will find me creeping around chat. Maybe the occasional live stream as Jake from State Farm. And on Twitter, I am Marvelous240 with also the sub name Jake from State Farm, which will be changed soon, something a little more professional. But yeah, you guys will always see me around, so I'll be around.
Nice. I learned that as well. I tagged the wrong guy with your name too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. And you too. And don't forget, Xander, you got to shout out your channel too.
Yeah, well, you definitely didn't mistag me on Twitter because we are Fun King 3D everywhere that I could possibly think of, even some places that I don't that I don't hang out or use. But I mean, for those out there that don't know, I am Glenn,
And I'm Zach.
and together we are Fun King 3D, and it's a father and son channel with the other son as well, who is getting more into the whole maker mindset now, which is kind of fun.
But he smells, so he's not here today.
Oh, that's not very nice. So then, yeah, we'd like to do 3D printing projects and some electronic projects occasionally. So, and we can be found really anywhere at FunKing3D, FunKing3D.com.
And then subscribe to Peg Like Paul on YouTube. I stream every Sunday after Fun in the Country Basement.
So 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. He streams for about an hour and a half. He's doing a gaming channel now as well. So
nice. So if you haven't subscribed to Peg Leg Paul, jump on there and hit that subscription too. I know we're trying to get your numbers up. For me, you can find me right here at the Edge of Tech on YouTube. The Edge of Tech on Twitter with a K on the end instead of a H because, again, I'm original and someone else had my name. And otherwise, I think it's the Edge of Tech Official on Facebook and the Edge of Tech on Instagram. I am about 200 subscribers away from 5,000, where we're going to give away a printer and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Get the likes going on this video. We had a great group of people watching this video, so get those likes going. And as always, if you see anybody in the stream here that you haven't subscribed to, or anybody in the chat, check out their videos, check out their channels, and subscribe to them if they have channels you want to watch. I know C3D's in the house with Tyler there, and there's a ton of people in here that have awesome channels. We talked about it a little earlier. What really makes this possible, what really makes making videos fun, is the people we get to meet in the community. Really, I mean that's what this is all about. And as you guys said earlier, I mean, just going out a couple weekends ago, just saying hi to people that just came up to you and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Absolutely. So I'd like to throw out too that I really like to be spoon fed. So if you have a YouTube channel and you're in the chat, just email me, Glenn with 2 N's at funking3d.com with a link, and I will go and make sure that I am subscribed to you. As long as it's 3D printing. 3D printing or making. If it's something else, then I won't, because I like to keep everything.
He's not even subscribed to me.
No, I don't subscribe to Xander.
If we had a FKB bingo card tonight, that thing would be filled out.
It would be close. Yeah, there's a Xander sighting.
Xander's throwing down the stairs.
Yeah, Walter's old joke.
Yeah. But that's pretty much a day in my household. So
yeah, it's definitely about the community. But like I said, 200 subscribers. I'm almost to 5,000. Let's do this. I'm guessing maybe a week or two. We'll have to have that live stream. So I probably should plan on that. I kind of guess I should start planning that. But it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys hang out for a minute here, and then we'll be back with you guys. Everybody else, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming every week to my show, to these guys' show, Fun in the Country Basement. Jump on Mike's live streams. I listen to them actually when I'm working. I like to watch and stuff while I'm working. I don't always have time live, but I definitely I do catch up on almost all the streams that I subscribe to as I'm working and walking around the hospital. So check out Mike's stuff, and if you're ever in the chats with Matt, don't forget to badger him, because he's definitely going to badger you. And always don't forget to acknowledge him. That's all you got to do. Say hi, acknowledge. But you guys have a great one. Thank you so much for coming, and you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.